South Africa's prop, Babalwa Latsha, has signed a new contract with English Premiership women's rugby club, the Harlequins. Latsha made 8 appearances since joining the London club in February this year in the Allianz Premiership. This time around, she'll get an opportunity to play a full season with this team. She joins us via Zoom this morning for a chat about, her time abroad last season and, of course, looking ahead to the start of the new season. Babalwa, good morning and thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Weekend Report. Firstly, congratulations on renewing your contract with the Harlequins. What does it mean, though, that you have another opportunity to play abroad, professional rugby, of course?
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for having me. I think the significance of me getting a full season at the Harlequins, points to my performances. I've played 8 games, like you put, and I've scored 4 consecutive tries as a front rower. So I think the individual impact to the club has been felt, and I'm extremely excited, to be getting a full stint now with the club. And more than anything, it's really, a point in the right direction for South African women's rugby as well.
I mean, the Harlequins are a big team. They are an institution. Having played 8 times and, like you said earlier on, scoring 4 consecutive tries, did you feel like you had to work hard to make your appearances, all those 8 appearances in this team last season?
Well, working hard is something that I'm no stranger to. I've been working hard since the beginning of my career with the Springboks, with Western Province, with IBA even. So with the Harlequins, it was nothing different. If anything, it was just really me sticking to my work ethic, and being, authentic in what I represent. And because the Harlequins are such an amazing club and an amazing environment, I was embraced very, very well, and my style of play was also embraced very well. And I think that sort of elevated my game, and also just being around world-class rugby players made me to step up a little bit.
And also working with Brent Jansa van Rensburg, who is the technical director there, a South African as well. What impact did he have on your game with the Harlequins last season, if all?
Yeah, well, Brent is an incredible coach. He sees things in individuals and does the best he can to bring out those things. And I think he saw the potential in me, and we've been working very closely together. Not only because we're both South Africans, but we just love a physical game. We love a defensive type of game. We love the aggression and hard hitting type of play, typical of South Africans, but yeah, he's an incredible person, an incredible coach, and I look forward to working with him for full 8 months.
All right, so are you able to tell us the length of your contract, because that wasn't established in that press release that was released by the Harlequins? Are you able to tell us how long that contract will be with the Harlequins?
Yes, I am able to tell you how long that contract will be. It will be a full season, which means 8 months.
Okay.
So I will, I will leave in November to return in June the following year.
Okay. So let's talk about, the players. South African players obviously attracting the attention. Aziza Hell is another player that will be joining you at the Harlequins at the start of next season. So congratulations to her, a teammate of yours at the Springbok women's team. I mean, we saw Carter Jacobs as well doing well for the Saracens in the season. Zintle Mpupa is another player that has played abroad. Do you see and do you think that South African players are now starting to get the attention, the interest from abroad? And what do you think that means for the women's game in South Africa?
I think that means a massive elevation for the women's game. Of course, personally, I would love to see, a whole exodus of South African women's rugby players playing their trade abroad. I think the world is now starting to pay attention to South African women's rugby. All it took was really just an opportunity to one individual to sort of, prove that it can be done, and we've seen that it's possible. So I am extremely happy for Aseza Ayele, who is going to be my teammate at the Harlequins.
Yeah.
Carter, like you put, has been doing phenomenally well. So I'm really excited about the future, and I would love to see more and more South African women's rugby player playing in the major leagues in the world.
Do you think it was the World Cup in last year, 2022, that might have, got the world to watch South Africans. We did not do well at that World Cup, but it seems like it was that World Cup that got people to see South African players, to see the potential. Would you agree with that?
I would somewhat agree with that. Look, a World Cup it's a global stage. It's a world competition. The world is watching, regardless of how well we do in terms of scoreboard. I think, that has then drawn, or the way that we played, more than the scoreboard, has drawn, some attention to us. We saw how Aseza Haley was tearing it up, in the World Cup, together with Zinhle Mpupa, Lusanda Dunke, just to name a few. So, of course, the world was watching, and competitions like that creates opportunities. I suppose that's the whole point of bringing the world together and having the world focus their attention on the incredible talents of women who play rugby from all over the world. So I think that competition also opened up doors for us, in addition to the talent and the hard work that the players have been putting in as well.
Just finally, as we wrap up our conversation this morning on the Weekend Report, I think the world will always remember you, Babalwa, as the first African woman player, right, to sign that professional contract in 2020 when you signed with Edba in Spain in the Femenino League. And since then, obviously, your career has been on the upward trajectory. You were not able to end, or rather should I say, you were not able to finish that season in 2020 in Spain due to the global COVID-19 pandemic. But what do you think that moment, the 7 months you spent in Spain, how did that prepare you to the point that you are now in your career, where you are getting ready now to play another season abroad?
I think my move to Spain opened up a brand new door for me, and to have been the first person to do that has had incredible significance in my career and the way that I started viewing my career and where it could take me. So I think that was a massive elevation, and it was a stepping stone for me to be able to propel myself into other leagues and to up my game as well, and just be a well-rounded, rugby player. And the significance of that, again, was that it had opened up a massive door, not just only for myself, but for South African women's rugby as well.
Yeah.
It proved that it wasn't impossible for us to, dominate spaces that, we never even dreamt of. So I remained extremely humbled by that experience, but also very proud of the fact that, it was done. I did that, or we did that.
Yeah.
So again, I'm really hopeful that, it's moments like that, and opportunities like that will just help other individuals also skyrocket.
Babalwa Latsha, thank you so much for making time to chat to us this morning on the Weekend Report. Again, congratulations on re-signing for the Harlequins.